Very few people understand the stock market. Football Index gives users the opportunity to trade and make money with something they love, the beautiful game.
Seventh goal for Bayern Munich, scored in the 88th minute from number 22, Serge Gnabry.
So 4 months ago today, we played in the Champions League final, obviously losing 2-0 to Liverpool. Now today was an absolute embarrassment, losing 7-2 at home to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. That is Tottenham's worst ever European defeat in our history. Not only that, in our 137-year history, we have never ever conceded 7 goals in a home game, and that was the embarrassing thing for me, conceding 7 goals in a competitive game. Mauricio Pochettino, I've just pulled over and just watched the short interview that he's given after the match, and he still goes on about belief. Got to believe, mentality. It's all about mentality, and we need to move on. Now, as a fan who has just witnessed us conceding 7 goals at home, I'm sorry, I can't move on tonight. I'm really annoyed. Do you know what? Even when Bayern Munich had scored 3, even when they'd scored 4, I was even saying in the ground, to people around me, saying what a fantastic team Bayern Munich are, how dangerous they looked every single time that they attacked. But when it went 5, 6 and 7, that's embarrassing. And I'll tell you what, the frustrating thing for me, even after I think it was about a minute and 20, a minute 25 on the clock, long ball was played over, Lloris had to make a save. And you could tell that Bayern Munich were going to be on the attack all game, and they were going to be very clinical, and they were going to score goals tonight. And for me, I just thought that things needed to be changed very, very quickly. I know it's easy to say now when we conceded 7 goals, but the defence today was absolutely shocking. I'm sorry, in a professional game, even someone around me said, it's like playing a FIFA match, FIFA scorelines. It's ridiculous. 7-2, losing at home 7-2. It is just unbelievable and unforgivable. And another thing that really annoyed me tonight as well is after the game, the players didn't even stop. The players didn't even clap the fans even for coming. I know it was an empty stadium and most of the fans left, but you need to acknowledge your fans, especially when you've just lost 7-2. And Mauricio Pochettino didn't even apologise in his after-match talk with the TV cameras, and I'm sorry for my voice because I've just been shouting all night long. But he didn't even apologise. Didn't even apologise to the fans. The fact that it's an embarrassing defeat, conceding 7 goals at home. I just cannot believe it. I really can't. And he just says that we just need to move on, which him saying that has actually just really annoyed me. I can't believe it. The thing that really, really worries me at the moment is the fact that the defence was so bad, the defence was so poor. And when you look at the heart of the defence, Danny Rose is, of course, has been a great servant to the club, has been a great player in the past, but he's nowhere near the player that we've seen him at his peak at the club. And, a couple of months ago in the summer, he was on the verge of joining Watford. So is his head really at the club as it should be right now? You've got Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld. Yes, great central defenders, but they're on the verge of leaving. Neither have signed a new contract, neither are looking to sign a new contract, and both of them could be leaving in the summer, or even talking to clubs in January, which is only a couple of months away now. And then, of course, you've got Serge Aurier, an absolute liability. You don't know what you're going to get with Serge Aurier. You don't know whether you're going to get him playing a fantastic match or getting a red card, doing stupid things, or just being a really poor defender. It's awful. So when you look at our defence as a whole, it is not good news. It is not good news at the moment. But overall performance, I just cannot believe, I know I keep going on about it, but to concede 7 goals at home, is embarrassing. I'm not going to take away the fact that Bayern Munich were an exceptionally good team. Very, very clinical in all of their finishing. Gnabry was absolutely outstanding, fantastic finishing today. Lewandowski, you know what sort of quality he's got as well. But when you know that I think it was 19 Bundesliga goals they've scored in 6 games so far this season, you know what a threat Bayern Munich are going to be. You know what a fantastic team they are. They've got some fantastic players. But for me, you could see it from the off. And tactically, it needed to be changed very, very quickly. We were 2-1 down at half-time. Arguably, in the first 30 minutes, we were the best team. But what happened in the rest of the game? Football's about 90 minutes. So could Pochettino keep going on about winning matches and mentality? Stop keep saying that mentality thing. If it's not being put into practice, I don't want to hear it, because this mentality thing, I think there is a mentality issue at the moment, because, 2-0 up at the Emirates, 2-2. Olympiacos, 2-0 up, 2-2. Leicester, 1-0 up. We lose the game 2-1. This game, we're 1-0 up. We lose it 7-2. There are clear issues at the moment. So this whole mentality and believe, I'm sorry, at the moment, I'm not believing, because it was really, really embarrassing. And I tell you what, I don't think I've been this annoyed about a defeat in a very... Well, actually, I don't even think I've been ever this annoyed about a defeat in my lifetime. I really don't. The defending was absolutely shocking. And, Pochettino is actually a former defender and an Argentinian international, had a good career as a footballer. Him as a defender, he should be seeing what the problems are straight away in this game and shoring up the defence and making sure that the defence is protected and not just walking through, because the Bayern Munich players were just walking through our team again and again and again. In the last 10 minutes, what the hell happened to just concede 7 goals? It is just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. It just cannot happen. And the worrying thing for me is, next up, we have got Brighton and Hove Albion away in the Premier League. We haven't won a Premier League away game since we played at Fulham at Craven Cottage in January. We are now in October. So you're talking like 9 months ago was the last time. People could have had a baby in that time. It's worrying. It really is worrying. And the next few games after that as well is Watford at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And then you've got Red Star Belgrade at home as well. So you've got 3 absolute key games. And for me, if Pochettino don't get the results that we require, that we need, i.e. 3 wins, I don't know. I think that something seriously, is going to happen. I know, I love Pochettino as a manager, but there is too much happening at the moment for you to just forget about. There were a lot of defeats at the end of last season. We were all caught up with the hype of the Champions League final, and rightly so. Never ever did I think that I'd see Tottenham Hotspur Football Club play in a Champions League final, and they are moments that I will never ever forget. But this is a moment tonight that I won't ever forget either. And this is a dreadful night. Conceded 7 goals. But things just need to be put right very, very quickly, because if they're not, and we play some decent sides in the Premier League, exactly the same is going to happen. And you just cannot keep using that same the same words he keeps using is about belief and the mentality, because the mentality clearly isn't there at the moment. As I keep saying, you can't keep going ahead in games and then losing them or drawing them when it's very important to get the results that we need. It's getting over that line, and it's now happening in these group stage games in the Champions League and in Premier League matches. Yes, we scraped the win at home at Southampton, a great 3 points in the Premier League, but these are teams that we should be beating comfortably, and I just think it's worrying. I do. I'm very worried right now. When you concede 7 goals in the Champions League like this, what next? What is needed now is a fantastic reaction on Saturday. It's the 12:30 kickoff, Brighton v Spurs in the Premier League, and Tottenham need to bang in a good few goals. And not only do we need to win the game comfortably, we need to put a fantastic performance on, because we need leaders right now. We really, really do. We need a whole team of leaders who are going to perform and kind of give something to the fans, especially after tonight. It's really annoyed me about Pochettino not even apologising, saying that we're sorry to put our fans through a 7-2 defeat. And like I said at the start of the video, that is the worst European defeat in our history. And that is we've never ever conceded 7 goals in any competitive competition at home in our entire 137-year history. Anyway, let me know your comments and your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. And let me know what you think the score will be at Brighton on Saturday. Come on, you Spurs. Very few people understand the stock market. Football Index gives users the opportunity to trade and make money with something they love, the beautiful game.